Hi there, this is another games pickups video, and in this video most of the stuff is from my vacation with my family in Iceland. My wife is Icelandic and therefore we travel to Iceland maybe once a year, something like that. And it's always fun to buy some new games in Iceland, in thrift stores, in flea markets and that kind of stuff, and also in new shops with the new game. So let's see what I have bought and traded since the last time. First off, I will start up with some Nintendo games. Before the trip I went to the local game store. I bought Orcs and Elves. I got it pretty cheap. It's a game from ID Software, the creators from Doom and Quake and all that kind of stuff. And it's an RPG game. I have not given it so much time yet, but it seems to be an okay game. And I think I bought it for 39 Danish crowns in GameStop, so it's pretty cheap. The next game, I got it in the mail while I was in Iceland, and it's a From Software title, and it's the DS version of Kuri Kuri Mix, and that's Cookie and Cream. So it's pretty cool to have Cookie and Cream, and it supports co-op play, network play. It's a co-op puzzle platformer, and I'm looking forward to play it with some guys at the upcoming SSKT. The next game, I bought it in GameStøden in Iceland, around the same price as it cost on eBay with shipping and all that kind of stuff. I got it for around, I think it was 2,000 Icelandic crowns, and that's around 100 Danish crowns or something like that. Bang.io Spirits. It's a treasure game, and it's you have to burst around and destroy objects, and it's a pretty wild game actually, with a lot of graphics. So pretty cool to have it. The last title from Nintendo for this time is Most Wanted You. I got this pretty cheap in a game store in Iceland called Elko. It's similar to the Elgiganten that we have in Denmark, and I got it for around 1800 Icelandic crowns, so that's 90 Danish crowns or something like that. Pretty cool to have it. I really love the Need for Speed series, and I don't know if I will get this played, but the first Most Wanted game for the PS2, I have played it so much, and I think it was so good. So maybe a time in the future when I will find my Wii U back again and connect it to the TV. Right now it's just in the box. So, and now for some Xbox games. This one I bought online while I was in Iceland, and it was in the mail when I get back home. Area 51 looks like a pretty good first-person shooter, and it's the first game that came out before the Xbox 360 game Blackside, as far as I know. So it's nice to have this, and I will maybe spend some time with it someday, I don't know, but it's good to have on the shelf. And this one I'm pretty happy about. Midway Arcade Treasures number 3. This is the driving package, so it contains 8 driving games. Nice to have these compilations with a lot of retro games on it. Unreal 2 The Awakening. I played this once a time on PC back in the days, and it's a decent game, I think. So nice to have it. Will I play it? Probably not, but it's good to have it. Unreal games, Quake games, always nice to have these in the collection. Unreal Championship. It's more of a console designed version of Unreal Tournament, so it's pretty cool. You can also play it in third person instead of first person, and there are some changes. The gameplay is a bit slower, but it's optimized for controller controls, so that's awesome to have it. On Iceland I bought Unreal Championship 2. Nice with some more Unreal stuff for my collection. I also bought Diablo 3 Rebuff Souls Ultimate Evil Edition. I actually had this once for the PS4, and I have completed it several times on PS4, but I traded it for something I can't remember what it was. I found this cheap in Elko in Reykjavik for same price as the Most Wanted, around 90 Danish crowns or something, and I had to get it back because I really like the game. It's not as good as Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 in my opinion, but still it has some very good elements. Nice to have it, and I actually play this game at the moment. I'm looking forward to just grind a lot of gear. And now some PlayStation 2 games. When I get back from vacation, there was some packages in the mail, and one of these packages contained these two games: Armored Core Formula Front and Armored Core Nexus. I don't actually play Armored Core that much, but the Armored Core franchise contains 15 Armored Core games, and the thing is that Armored Core is a From Software IP, and therefore I have to get it because I really enjoy From Software, and I'm maybe a bit of a From Software fanboy, and therefore one of my collecting goals was to get the complete Armored Core series, and I have that now. I have all the games in the series. I don't have the portable games for the PSP. That's only ports of the PS2 games. So it doesn't matter. These two, now I can check Armored Core off my list. Pretty cool. In Iceland I was in a small shop selling and trading records, CDs, DVDs, all that kind of stuff. And they had a small amount of PlayStation games, PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games. In that shop I bought State of Emergency, a Rockstar game, a bit like you can say Grand Theft Auto meets Serious Sam or something like that. Pretty wild game, and nice to have it. It's not hard to get or expensive or anything, but a gem in the collection, I think. When we drove back home from the airport after the vacation, I drove by a local used store where I sometimes look for games, and this time there was some good games, and I bought these pretty cheap, 5 crowns a piece, Danish crowns a piece. First off, Final Fantasy X. I'm not that big of a Final Fantasy fan. Some games I collect them more for the collection than for the gameplay at all. And this is also the case with this one, 5 crowns. Rogue's Galaxy, from the creators of Dark Cloud, Dark Chronicles. So nice to have this one as a collectible object. But this one, the game of these three with the lowest reviews, I think, Dragon Slayer 3D Special Edition. Special Edition, that's such a stupid name for a game like this. I think the GameCube port and the PC port is called Return to the Lair or something, but the PS2 version is called Special Edition. That just sounds stupid. Nevertheless, I saw some gameplay of this one, and it looks pretty solid actually. It looks like a fun game. The controls should be pretty awful, but nonetheless I'm looking forward to play it. I also bought some PS3 games. First off, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD remastered. If I should ever play Final Fantasy X, it would probably be on this instead of the PS2 version that I also get. But cool to have some more Final Fantasy for the collection. It's the same one with this one. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Will I play it? Probably not, but it's cool to have it in the collection. This game, I found it for cheap, around 40 or 50 Danish crowns, 900 Icelandic or something. Brand new Rambo the video game. I have read so much crap about this game, and it should be a on-rail shooter without light gun support or something, I don't know. But still, I'm looking forward to play it. I actually enjoy cheesy games sometimes, just to sit back and look at some very poor gameplay. It can be pretty satisfying sometimes just to chill to something like that. Rambo, yes, I will see you soon. While I was away, I also bought a game online from another guy from a forum, and that game is Sonic Generations. This is a game that I have long been looking out for a reasonable price. I don't want to pay 200 or 300 Danish crowns for it. I was waiting until I could find it cheap, and I found it and bought it from this guy for 80 Danish crowns. I'm looking forward to play this. This should be one of the better games in the Sonic series, and the thing with Sonic series is I really enjoy the Mega Drive and the Master System Sonic games, the 2D games. And this Sonic generation should have some of these gameplay elements back on, instead of all that Sonic Color and Sonic Black Knight and all that kind of 3D crap. I'm looking forward to play this one when I'm done with some other games. The last PS3 game in this video is Short Piece Rankut Longest Day. It looks pretty good. It's a side-scrolling, fast-paced Japanese graphics, weird objects kind of game with a lot of movement on the screen. I'm looking forward to play it. As far as I could read on the box, it's a Suda 51 game, so there you have the art style for the game. But cool to have it. Last game in this video is a PlayStation 4 game that I bought. I just completed it with Platinum last night. Pretty easy to complete with Platinum and doesn't take that long. It's The Order 1886. It's the prettiest game and most graphical impressive game that I have seen on the PlayStation 4 so far. It's so beautiful. The water effects, the lightning effects, it's incredible. The gameplay is kind of third-person cover shooting and not the best in the genre. And the problem with the game is that there are so many cutscenes and so many scripted passages in the way where you are forced to walk in a very slow pace and you are forced to see a lot of things. It's so slow paced sometimes, and that can be pretty annoying when you are just getting into the game and you are shooting bad guys, and then suddenly there is a cutscene and suddenly the game takes over and forces you to sit there and just look at the screen for 15 minutes or something. It can be pretty annoying, but still pretty impressive graphical impression. The story is pretty decent, but still it's like in the end they rushed it. The character development in the story is pretty good, and the storytelling is pretty good, and it's a pretty good plot actually. But then over the last couple of chapters, it's like they just had to finish it right now because they are on a schedule or something. But actually good game. Can you find this game for cheap? 100 crowns or 150 crowns, give it a shot. I bought the game for 5,000 Icelandic crowns. That's around 250 Danish. It's a pretty high price for this game. I know that, but the thing is that the place where I bought this from is a place in Iceland called Nexus. They have all kind of role-playing games and board games and comics and books and all that kind of shit, but they only have maybe 10 games or something. And I thought if I buy a game from them, maybe they will increase their game library. That could be pretty cool, but still a decent game for the price, I think. This was all the games that I have gotten since last video. Here in the end, I just want to say that while I was in Iceland, I have written, you can call it a guide, where I tell about my game chasing in Iceland. From that you can actually take out the names from the different stores and their websites, if they have a website. And if you have to go to Reykjavik someday, you can Google the names and their locations, and then you have a small map actually over good shops in Iceland, if you want to chase games. That was all from me. Have a nice day. See you next time.